Hey, everybody, welcome back to episode 2 of Real Human Conversations, which is part of our 365-day human transformation live stream that I've been live streaming every day. Many of you have seen me streaming every day, and Christy's been on some of our episodes. Thank you. And yeah, it's been going amazing. So thank you back. Thank you coming back to this episode. I'm going to be having two guests on each week from all different parts of the world. And we're going to have real conversations about real human things. And right now, we're just going to do some shop talk before we got started a little bit here about coming up, about our movement and everything we're doing. For those of you guys jumping on, I just want to say thanks too for everyone's who've been coming in and leaving comments, sharing and liking all our stuff. We've had amazing growth. Some of our videos have had 2.9 million, 1 million, and just some big stuff has happened. So thank you so much for that. So again, everyone watching the replays, thank you and sharing and stuff like that. So our guest today is Christy DeJong, and she's a friend of mine. She's also one of the top counselors in Vancouver. She goes in also to big companies and does critical incidences for many well-known big companies. So obviously she's one of the best in the business, or they wouldn't be bringing her in to look after their people when they're going through rough times. She's had many successes, and I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about her backstory, her degrees, and her, all her kind of creds and all that, a little bit, the brief notes. But more importantly, the story tonight with her is going to be amazing, and she's a great one to have on because her story really comes from, an upbringing where you wouldn't expect to do with cults, and so on. But I just let me welcome you.
Thanks, Shane. Thanks for having me tonight.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. So, tell us a little bit about you, and then let's move into a little bit of the backstory of just kind of
Which one?
yeah. Let's do the cliff notes, but let's kind of move back to tell a little bit, start what you do now, but then let's move all the way back to before the counseling, before the success, before all the good stuff. Let's move right back to being in a family that was literally a cult, a real cult, not just a cult, but a real cult.
Yeah, a real one. It's a real one. So credentials like backstory, yes, traumatic childhood. We'll get into that, but then kind of went through high school. Kind of, I guess, knew at about 11 that I wanted to do counseling as a profession. So graduated high school, went into university, ended up getting pregnant, getting married, having a kid. He was super high demand. So I had to quit my schooling. Had a couple more kids. Marriage went sour, divorced. Back to school to finish my BA, got my master's. Met a new guy, had another kid, got married. So that's four kids total.
Right.
And then that dad died of addiction. We'll get into that story in a little bit. And after that, I kind of just built my business. And now I run my private practice. And like you said, I do a lot of critical debriefings. So that's kind of where we are right now.
Yeah. So you've had definitely some good success now in your life, and have grown a lot, obviously. And now let's take it right back to, being born or growing up, I guess, in somewhat of a cult family.
So that was branched from my mom's side of the family, and there was a lot of that I didn't know when I was little.
Right.
It kind of came out around I want to say later high school.
Right.
That mom actually only kind of sounds a little weird, but remembered at that point in time because she was dissociated from her life.
Right.
So as her dissociation broke down, the story came out, and then some of my early history started to make a lot more sense.
Right. So did you, by the way, if I was looking a little bit away, I got 3 streams running. I got Facebook running, I got Twitter running, and I got YouTube live running. So I just had to check them all to make sure nothing was crashing or anything like that. But I was listening. So if everyone's like, why is this guy looking away? Right? When she's talking, what a jerk this guy is. Yeah. She's talking and he's like looking away.
I know you.
Yeah, totally, right? So, I mean, did you, growing up like in somewhat of a cult, which is, I mean, very, I guess you could say a very different upbringing.
A little bit.
So how did that like work out? How did you get out of that? Like you turned out so well. So obviously you didn't take on the behaviors and principles that were taught growing up in a cult, I would think.
Yeah, no, I didn't. But you're never not influenced by it.
Right.
But I was one of those people that knew there was something different about me.
Right.
And knew I didn't quote unquote belong or fit into the normal mainstream.
Right.
But I didn't know why. So kind of when mom, her dissociation broke down.
Right.
And she's starting to understand some of these things. We're now talking about it. And so I'm starting to look at now my own life, my own lived experience, the things that I've gone through, the things that I've kind of adopted or taken away from those experiences.
Right.
It was a huge self-growth curve, and there's been a lot of dark pits.
Right. So how did you transition out of that? Like when did you realize like I've been growing up in a cult and this is not normal? Well, I guess, I mean, like, let me be frank. I guess not normal to some people, normal to other people, right?
Sure,
I guess there's different perspectives on everything, right? I didn't say good or bad, right? But I said
normal's relative.
Right.
Well, I think it was just largely, conversations with mom. Like when she's starting to tell me what her experience was. I mean, truth be told, there's big memory gaps that I have in my own childhood that I don't yet recall.
So you being a counselor, so you being a counselor, do you not want to recall those? Do you actually think you could? And like, I'm like asking the counselor question, right? Are you suppressing those, or is it like you just don't?
That I'm not purposefully suppressing, because that's not kind of how it works. Like I've had some flashbacks, I've had some memories resurface. But the reality is when they're going to resurface when I have capacity for them to resurface.
Right.
So
Got it.
There's no sense in going digging, navel gazing, trying to unearth something. I know enough to know to have some of my life experiences make sense. I know enough to know the work that I need to do.
Right.
And I've always consistently pushed to get that work done. So the reality is you're going through a master's program in counseling. They can't graduate you unless they know you've gone counseling.
Interesting.
You're a liability.
Right.
So counseling has been part of my adult years. As things come up, I've got a counselor. I go in and deal with my things.
Right. So what was the hardest part of growing up in a cult-like family?
It's normalized. So you don't know that it's wrong.
Right. So do you think it was like you always hear about cults and cult followings and leaders of cults? Are they like, was it kind of like brainwashing you into their way of?
But because it was like for mom, yes, she was taken into it. For me, who kind of lived and grew up in it, it was just normal.
Right.
Which is kind of scary to say. But the reality is, these things, how my family functioned was normal. And it didn't seem odd to me because I don't know different.
Right.
When you're little, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah. So when did you all of a sudden realize
Well, was
that? At what age
That
did you all of a
was
sudden realize
probably
this is not normal?
probably about 17 or 18. Well, I mean, there was an inner knowing.
Yeah.
Like there was something inside me that knew something was not right.
Right.
But not knowing anything different from how you're raised, I couldn't put my finger on it.
Right.
And so then when mom kind of broke open, and now things are starting to make sense, we're starting to get told.
Right.
So then you're like, okay, this isn't quite so normal.
Right. And then was there a big shift where all of a sudden you started to question things and then say like, I gotta get out of this. Like this is not for me. And did you just make the clean break, or how did that happen? The transition.
Well, mom ended up making the break.
Okay.
So we kind of went with, right?
Right. So she decided to get out like of the cult. She said like, I'm done with this cult stuff. Very interesting that she was able to make that break.
Part of it too, though, is if you don't kind of do what they want by a certain age, they almost age you out.
Really?
Because if you start to kind of like recognize this is not okay, this is normal, they're gonna start to move you out because you're no longer controllable.
All right. So the cult is all about controlling everything you do, manipulating, and having control of what you do.
They'll in the concentration camps. Those were very much experimentation on brain manipulation.
Right.
So that's what they did to mom.
So was your mom brought up in a concentration camp, and then
No,
okay.
No, it just came through the family line.
Right.
And so, but they were employing the same techniques on mom that they were experimenting with in the concentration camps.
Right. And then did you feel that, did your mom take that same type of experimentation and use it somewhat on yourself?
Not that I don't think so.
Right.
But like so for me, we're more exposed to the trauma pieces.
Okay. Yeah.
So she had kind of pulled out of some of that brain and manipulation and stuff. Of course, there was programming there that she was responsive to. But when she had a family and started to have us kids, then she got less controllable, right?
Right.
So I don't know when or how the actual break from the cult happened.
Right.
But she for us kids, she was very protective of us kids around the programming pieces. Because she recognized that it was not okay. But the trauma pieces we were very much exposed to.
So did it take you a long time to, and obviously I know like you still deal with stuff, obviously everybody does, but did it take you a long time to start to overcome a lot of that? Did you have to do a lot of like, inner work? Because obviously you've trained.
Yeah, and like I said, in the masters you have to go to counseling, so you're looking at these things, And my brain is constant. Like I'm one of those brains that doesn't turn off.
Right.
So I remember when I was, I want to say 7.
Mm-hmm.
I was a very bored little girl. So I would recall having a thought, and then time would pass, and I'd have a different thought. And I couldn't figure out how the two thoughts connected.
Right.
So I'd take the last thought and go backward until I got to the first thought. To track the thinking. So ever since I was tiny, I've been doing a lot of sort of thinking and thinking through things and analyzing, and so that's just always been part of how I look at the world.
Right. I've always found the cults. I've studied cults a lot, and I've always found very it's very interesting how they build like a cult. And it's interesting because it's very similar to even building a business, but not in the right way. Like the moves they make in certain areas.
Well, there's an interesting metaphor.
Yeah, totally, right? Totally. If you look at, there's always kind of the same frameworks. I even say, like, if you look at big gangs, there's a framework there that they build. It's similar to building a business. They've got their protocols and they've got their, so I've always studied every area. And I've looked at it and been like, wow, if these people could have just used what they do for good, man, they would do good things. Mm-hmm. Right? Because they really, they really
know
knew
how to create that family.
They do. They really do. Yep, they really do. So let's move out of that subject. It's not deep at all.
No. Nice topic for Friday night.
Yeah, right. That's a whole, I could sit on that. So, you've went through some real challenges in your life. And I think people watching tonight, viewing it on live right now, and also watching the replays, have to understand that, you've become very successful now, but you've also went through homelessness. Just recently, you lost, like not too long ago, everything in a fire, everything. One thing I've always been impressed with you is you've really raised these kids as a single mom and had to build your businesses, had to go to school, had to
build my house,
had to rebuild your house. Yeah. But you've been able to do all that. And I see people complain all the time. They're like, well, I don't have the time. I have 2 kids, but meanwhile, they've got a husband that helps them. They've got grandparents that help them. And they're still complaining. I just laugh at that because I look at you and I'm like, but I'm just lucky to be around people that don't complain. They just go get it done. Like a lot of my inner circle, you know that, they don't complain. They just go get it done, right? And you know me, when I have to get the little guy at school and after, everybody knows I set my alarm for 3 a.m. I start working at 3 a.m. because my business day finishes at 2 because I got to go to school and get him. And then I got to get him to soccer and I got to get Christian to swimming. So I lose my business day. So I literally get up at 3 a.m. and I finish work at 11 at night, by the time I get home. And so you just do what you got to do. And, and you're either built like that and you want something bad enough or you're not. It's just simple as that, or you're going to complain. And so I admire you to be able to be a single mom and make all that happen. And so all the single moms out there watching right now, I completely have deep, utter respect for you guys. It's raising kids to me is a harder thing than actually building a business, to tell you the truth. You know what I mean, right? And so I have deep respect. And then, all the women, not just business, women are trying to do a career and you're trying to do something else. And I have deep, deep respect for that. So, let's move into a little bit about, being homeless. Tell us a little about you being homeless. How did that happen and how did you end up getting out of that?
Yeah, that's the story. So it was my then youngest son's 12th birthday. And he wanted French fries and hamburgers for dinner. And we were renting a house that was probably built in the 70s, so the insulation in the ceiling, domino stacked, right? Mm-hmm. The oil got too hot. It blew. Right straight up through the ceiling, hit the insulation, and whipped across the entire house. Probably within about 3 to 5 minutes. So I had 3 to 5 minutes to get us out of the house. And I was then 5 months pregnant with my now littlest. And so I watched on my son's birthday, we're at 10 o'clock at night, standing on the curbside watching the house burn to the ground.
Man, so what was the hardest?
Re-alarm.
What was the hardest thing about that experience?
I remember one moment where, and my mom was over for my kid's birthday.
Right.
And I looked at her and I said, I'm not working full time.
full time.
I have no
I have
way
no way
to get another
to get
house
another
and
house
and
and
feed these
feed
kids.
these kids.
What am I gonna
What am
do?
I gonna do?
And I
And
didn't
I
have.
didn't have.
I had.
I had.
So I was
So I
still
was
sort of
still sort of
newly
newly
married,
married,
but
but
did not have
did
house
not have
insurance.
house
We were
insurance.
still
We were
renting.
still
So when
renting.
we
So when
lost
we
everything,
lost
we
everything,
lost
we lost
everything.
everything.
Because I didn't
Right.
even
I
have
didn't even
house
have
insurance
house
to
insurance to
put contacts back into the house.
into the house.
Right.
So yeah, that was. I
was.
remember
I
that.
remember
I'm
that.
just like,
I'm just like,
what am I gonna
what
do?
am I gonna
How
do?
am I
How
gonna
am I
fix
gonna
this?
fix this?
Right.
Because the
Because the
reality
reality was,
I had three
I
children.
had 3 children, and
I was
I was
pregnant with my
pregnant
fourth.
with my 4th.
When I signed
When
up
I
to
signed
be a
up
parent,
to be a parent,
I signed
I
up
signed
to
up to
do and be
do
everything,
everything
they
they
needed
needed
to get them
to
to
get
be
them to be
successful
successful
adults.
adults.
Right. I love that I love that statement. I wish more people would take on that role.
Well, that's the
Well, that's
response.
the
That's what
response.
the
That's
parent
what the
is. Like
parent
I
is.
signed
Like
up
I
for
signed
that
up
when
for
I
that
had
when
them.
I had them.
Yeah, but how many people look at that in general? How many people have kids and you don't hear them once trying to become a better parent? Meaning saying, I want to do the best that I can. I want to learn to be a better parent. I want to read some books. I want to, I want to go to some courses. I want to learn how to do this properly.
Well, I think
Well, I
that
think
came
that
after
came
I left
after I
my
left
eldest's
my eldest's
dad,
dad
because
because
my plumb
my
line at
plumb
that
line at that
point
point
became I have to
I
make
have to
sure
make
every
sure every
decision
decision
I made
I
that
made
day
that day
was
was
in
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 their
their
best interest,
best
because
interest
I was
because I was
accountable to three
accountable to
pairs of
3 pairs
eyes
of eyes
at the end of
at the
every
end of
day.
every day.
Right.
And so that's
And so
just
that's
stuck with
just
me.
stuck with
And
me.
so
And
that's
so
just how
that's
I
just how
do
I
life
do
now.
life now.
Right. It always amazes me that they actually don't make you take parenting courses before
I know,
you have
I know.
kids. Don't you agree with that as a top counselor?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of
There's
people
a
that
lot
have
of
no
people that
idea
have
what
no
they're
idea
doing.
what they're doing.
That's a whole other topic.
Well, the thing is, actually, the reality is none of us know what we're doing until we have a kid in our hands. Because they don't come with a
Come with a
guidebook.
guidebook.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? There's a funny story. So when me and Sharon were together, she said, "Okay, I want you to take Christian for the day, first time, right? I never taken him by myself, right? Yeah, I don't know. He's like 2 years old or something, right? Or it's like 2.5 or like 3, but like he's enough to be running around, right? So we go and we're gonna go to Science World. We go to McDonald's to get something to eat before, and I don't suggest take your kids there, by the way. And so I'm like trying to order. I have this big bag with all this stuff in it and everything, and he's like running everywhere where I'm trying to order. I'm like, just stay here, and I'm like starting to sweat. And I'm like trying to order, and the bag's falling, and things are falling out of the bag. Like I'm literally getting flustered. Like I was like,
You're
I'm
undone by a
s-
2-year-old.
oh yeah, I was sweating. I was like running after him, then trying to get my place back to order, and then like the whole day, like was like that, like just nutso. And I said to her after, I
I'm
don't
never doing this
running
again.
running business. I don't care at what level is a billion times easier than this. I said I can run business from 3 a.m. to 11 at night. It is way easier than doing this by myself. I was so tired that day, so
Yep.
tired. And I had utmost respect for her after that because I was like, holy crap, like you're the mother and you do way more of this stuff. And I like was doing it the first time one day and completely
For, like,
flustered.
3
I'm
hours.
thinking, how can I run a business and run all these people and I can't even look like I'm getting like all flustered over this kid, right? I'm like, oh, like so. But that's my story of having utmost respect for especially the women that have to look after the kids, more. And I still to this day, it's really weird. Like, you know me, I work a lot. I get up at 4
You
a.m. and
do,
bang out till 11 at night. But when I go out with Christian and look after him, I'm way more tired than doing business for 18 hours. It is crazy. Like,
Well,
it
it
is nuts.
takes.
It's a different energy.
It is. It is. And kids have so much energy that you have to match.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, okay, so then what happened? Like, so you became homeless. How did you dig yourself out of that homeless, and how did you get yourself back on your feet? Now, here's a good question: do you find did people help you? Did humanity step up,
Yep.
or was humanity not nice to you?
Well, we had both.
Right.
So, a GoFundMe page opened up for us. I ended up doing 5 news reports the following day, which is
Right.
really interesting because I'd had no sleep and all I had was men's oversized sweats because they're not giving pregnancy clothes. Who
Right,
else
right.
is pregnant? That could be pregnancy clothes.
Right.
So I was in like baggy sweats and t-shirts, and I did 5 news reports. So GoFundMe page ended up getting open. The kids' school opened up the gym, and donations just started pouring in.
Really? Wow.
And
That's
furniture
amazing.
and and the
That's
schools-
humanity at its finest.
Oh yeah, it was a very again one of those pivotal shifts because
Right.
again my backstory
Yeah.
kind of have a bit of a negative outlook on humanity. But
Right.
this, like to see people I don't know, just pouring
Wow.
out, like the gym was
Amazing.
full.
Right.
We had to get a storage locker to put the furniture in until we were rehomed, and it was really interesting. I actually met one of the mums who was a single mom, and the baby I was carrying, he wore her son's baby clothes.
Oh, really? Wow.
So it was kind of this nice little full circle moment.
Right.
But no, we had a lot of donations come in. We had a lot of both monetary and financially to help us.
Right.
A lot of like clothes, and they got different sizes and things. A lot of furniture, a lot of baby stuff. I had all my baby stuff given to me. And then what was I gonna say? But we did have that negative side because there was the GoFundMe page, and there was a lot of negative comments about this is your own fault and you get what you deserve. And so there's a lot of that. Yeah.
So when you look at humanity and people do that, number one, I look at it like this, because obviously with me growing a lot on social and just getting bigger and bigger, I've really started to find out the level of trolls and negative people, and people will just come in and hammer me on certain things, which is fine. But I always think that if somebody's doing that, taking the time to go around and leave negative stuff on people's social media, they have to be suffering inside. And so that's where I've kind of flipped the script and been like, those are the people that I got to have more compassion for, because you do not do that when you're in a good mental state, a positive frame of mind. You do not go around and leave negative stuff or talk bad about people when you're in a real good frame of mind and positive and happy. You just don't do that.
No, you don't.
No.
So those were hard.
Right.
Because I was in a very vulnerable position. Like I didn't have a home, right? Like I'm trying to figure out how to house 3 children and feed them, and so it was hard to work through those things. But it's very much what you said. And looking back, it kind of is. I almost wonder what they went through where humanity failed them, and
Great
it
point.
It might have just hit a raw place to see me get the support that maybe they needed and didn't get.
Right.
So you never want to. Well, it's hard not to. But you really want to be careful and try not to judge how people show up in at their worst. Because the reality is bad behavior comes from painful places.
100%. 100%. Yeah, I completely agree with you, and working hard not to judge, because you just don't know what somebody has went through. And like the other day, I think it was with you, I was walking or somebody, and I said, look, you just look at all these people around, and you just don't know what they're going through.
Yeah,
And
we
so
were
if you
talking
really,
about that.
yeah, and if you start to become that highly conscious and don't walk around unconscious all the time to life and act like you're just stuck by the machine, then you're highly conscious and you really care about humanity. When you walk around and you frame yourself differently, you think about, oh, I wonder what that person's going through today. I wonder if they're having a good day. I hope they're having a good day.
What can I do to help them have a good
What
day?
can I do to help them have a good day? Yeah, you put yourself also in a different mental state when you talk like that, right? And you know, as a counselor, self-talk is everything.
Yeah.
Self-talk is everything, everything. So, and it's interesting too. You want to hear a quick story, a funny story, or not a funny story, but something that I think you'll find interesting that ties into this. So a friend I was out with the other night, and this person says to me, "Hey, I seen you talking to somebody or kind of hanging out with somebody a little bit, and I need to tell you something about them." And I said, "First, let me stop you. Is it good or bad?" And they said, "Well, it's not good." And I said, "I'm going to stop you right there. I don't want to hear it." And they're like, "Why?" And I said, "Because if something ever happened with me and you, and we had a falling out, that means you'd be going around saying that to other people about me." And I said, "I'm a big enough boy to judge people of how I see them, because I know that everybody
Has a
hears
story.
something, and they take their own perspective, and information is deleted, distorted 50% as it gets to each person. So you don't even get the full story by the time it's at the third or fourth person. Even the first person has deleted, distorted it." So I said, "I don't want to hear it." And that always shows me a lot in people. When people start coming to me and talking about other people like that, I actually keep them farther away now, even if they're close to me, because they're going to do that to me if we ever have a falling out. So,
character shows a lot. You can see
really
a
does.
lot of things.
Really does. And it was interesting because when I said that to them, they actually took it really good. They actually said, "You have a very good point, and I think I'm going to change and not do what I just did, because I wouldn't want you to do that to me either."
Well, that's just it, right?
I learned that a long time ago, especially in the business world. Everyone talks good and bad about everybody. The business world, that's all that happens, right? You never know. So many deals fall out of the business world, but you don't really know the true story behind it. It's always three different versions, right? So yeah, I mean, that's sad when people go online though and have talk, when you lose your stuff and they do that. It's sad, but I guess I love your spin too on it, that you just don't know what they've been through, and there could have been something that triggers them that they've come from. And I think you hit a good point, that there's probably something there that they needed help at one time. We've all needed help at one time and never got it, and can always put a trigger in all of us, right? That just comes up in your subconscious mind, just brings it up, and like, oh man, I remember that, right? That thing, so I could really see that. So, that was always obviously a low point. And then did you find that you got out of that low point of your life?
Not so quickly.
And how long did it take you to kind of bounce back after you lost everything and all that, I guess?
There was some pregnancy complications, and then my grandmother was dying, so I had them induce the baby so my grandmother could meet them. Then she died. And then almost a year to date from the house fire, the baby's dad overdosed.
Right.
He died three times. And they put him into hospital. And when he was in hospital, the bailiff evicted us. So we were homeless again.
Wow. So you were homeless twice in a row.
Twice in a year. Yeah.
So when that bailiff came and evicted you for the second time, did you get to a point in your life where you felt like, man, this is just not working out? I'm going to give up.
Well, again, of course I feel that way, but now I have four pairs of eyes I have to be accountable for.
Right.
And I'm the only stable. I'm the only parent that's fighting to get them stabilized.
So what did you do mentally at that time when things were so low? Because that's a mental game at that point for anybody. I don't care what anybody says. You would know it as a counselor. That's a 100% mental game now. You're either going to pull yourself out, right, to try and get the right
I
way.
didn't have a choice, Shane. Like for me, it wasn't a mental game because I'm back to I have to put a roof over these kids' house.
Yeah.
Or a roof over their head.
But that is a mental game because you framed it that way,
Sure, I guess.
right? Like, you know what I mean?
That's what I signed up for with parenting, though.
Right? Yeah. But that's where, I mean, that's a great lesson because you've already probed that into your subconscious mind over and over. So no matter what happens, you have to step up and make it happen.
Yep. So the older three went to their dad's for a month. Me and the baby stayed with my best girlfriend for a month. And I was just doing everything I could to find housing for us again. And
Wow.
my then mother-in-law, well, my mother-in-law, she paid for the movers that were removing our things. She paid for them to be our things to be moved and stored.
Right.
So then, as soon as I located a home, I could pull everything and put it back in. And so that took a month. And I found a place. And then it just became slowly rebuilding. I was trying to get private practice going. So at one point, that was 8 jobs I was working. Just to continue to put food on the table because we'd been evicted because Dad had used the money that was in the GoFundMe account for his drugs. So that was
so he stole the money from you. You put it nicer than I put it. He stole the money from you.
Yes. So rent wasn't paid, which is why we were evicted. So I didn't have that money to fall back on. So I had to work 8 jobs at a time to continue to make it work. And this is where me and the kids all pulled together and became a family because when I was working, they were watching the baby.
Right.
So we were just plugging in our different schedules and trying to make it work.
Hmm.
And
That's
it seems to have my eldest works for the Attorney General.
Yeah.
My daughter is getting a paralegal degree. My youngest son, not my youngest, but the third down of the 4. We just celebrated his graduation last night, and then the baby's now in grade 6.
Wow. Your family and you have come a long way.
Yeah,
Should be proud.
It's been very, as you know, it's hard fought for.
Yeah, but you're a good spitting image of what people can do and how many struggles that people go through in life, and you can come out on the other side. And that's, as you know, that's one of the reasons why I'm doing what I do, to give people that hope and give people that, inspire people to know that they can make it out.
You can.
Tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow's a new day.
Tomorrow is a day where a different decision could be made, and that one decision could be the one that shifts things.
100%. So that's a good question. When did everything shift for you then?
When did things shift? Well, let's see. The little one was 4 when he stopped seeing his dad. So that distanced us from a lot of chaos and trauma because of addiction, because Dad relapsed. So what I was trying to preserve the family and keep relationship between Dad and the little guy, but at 4 years and Dad's relapsing, it just became not going to happen.
And he's the one that passed away.
Yeah.
Right.
So he 2 years ago now, 2.5 years ago now, he passed away. So things started to get a little better. Financial pressure eased off as my private practice grew. So then things could stabilize a little bit more. So it wasn't like a big pivotal moment. It was just that uphill grind.
Mm-hmm.
But every step forward was a step forward.
Yeah, I think that's such a good learning lesson for everybody because people often ask me too on my life, like, how did it start to become more successful and I get to where I'm today? And, how did I stop doing drugs and partying and all that type of stuff? But there wasn't one real big pivotal moment. It was just little things that I do each day. And I've always said, one thing that I've realized I've been good at, that I try and inspire people to be, help them with, is just be consistent.
I
You
was
don't
just
have to
thinking
figure it
that.
out. Yeah, and you know that in me. You would say, if you could say me, you'd be like, yeah, that guy's way more consistent than
Very
anybody.
consistent.
Right, yeah. And that's the thing. A lot of times I don't know how it's going to work out. I don't know what's going to happen, but I just stay consistent. And I find, oh yeah, I get a little better here and a little better there. And my confidence gets a little better and my self-esteem gets a little better. And, every little step that you take, you get a little better and you get a little better. And you can't really see it at times. That's the thing, right? It's like kind of all just accumulates.
That's when you really have to find your why am I doing this?
Right.
And for me, it was those kids. Like they've seen way too much than they should ever have to see.
Right.
They've lived way too much than they should ever have to live.
Mm-hmm.
And it's my job to smooth that path as best I can and get them to a point of success.
Right.
And the older three are, they're well settled. Miss daughter's working. She's got 1 year left on her degree, and then she'll have a double degree. And the boys are set. So now she's just focusing on the little one.
Mm-hmm. So how did you do it? Like, how did you manage to grow a career, raise all these kids, work different jobs with no help from the father? So how did you make it happen?
Lots of tears, lots of fights. Like, I'm not going to kid you. It wasn't like this smooth, easy road. Like many nights, I was crying myself to sleep.
Right.
Because what do you do? Especially when those little consistent steps, as important as they are, show no shifting of things.
Yeah, I've been there about 1 billion times on that too.
Right? Like you're doing it, but nothing's changing.
Right.
But you have to believe in the why.
Mm-hmm.
And my why was my kids. Because that's what I signed up for. Like that was just like that's not something that ever moves.
Yeah. I you do in everything in life. You do have to dig down and really sit down and write down what is the why. Like, why do I really want to do this? And I think you need that, because that's the stuff that pushes you forward when things get hard, right? Like me saying I'm going to do these streams every day for 365 days in a row. Well, Sunday will be 30 days I've done every day.
Yep.
And so that means, yeah, and that means I only got 11 more months to go. But my why's big. And that's the thing. Every day, there was probably 3 times out of these last 30 days, me doing 30 days in a row and not missing. There was probably 3 days that I was like, oh, I don't want to go on today. Like, I don't want to live stream today. Like, there was the day when I was out all day. Then I got Christian from school. Then my audio messed up. Then I forgot my audio. My own fault. That was my own stuff, digging my own hole that day, right? Because I didn't get organized enough, like I should have. Yeah, that was my own fault. And I got home and I'm like running into 16 hours already, 17 hours, and I had to stream. And I was like I really had to dig down, right? That's where I was like, I had to like go outside. I had to get away from everything.
Get some fresh air.
But that's when I went back to my why. I went back to my why. Why am I doing this? If I miss this, what were the consequences? Well, people just get inspired by watching me. Wow, if he can do it 30 days, then I could do something for 5 days in a row. Like I could go to the gym 6 days if he can do 30, or I could do, 6-7 podcasts a week if I wanted, or you know what I mean? There's a billion things in life.
Yeah.
But, and then also too, for us, it's creating a more human world, creating a more human company, right? Stopping the loneliness epidemic and bringing humanity together. And there's so much more and of my why, such a bigger thing of my why, going after the system. That's bringing on all this AI and everything that's coming that's dehumanizing us, and it's going to dehumanize us in a big way that we don't even see it coming yet.
Yeah.
So I have a big why, a worldly vision why. And I just said to myself, you've got so many people backing you on this, Shane. And you've got connections all over the world that will help
You
keep
see,
you
here's the
keeping grow
interesting
this.
thing.
Interesting thing.
You are keeping yourself
keeping
accountable to the people that are rooting for you, that are
watching.
watching. Like
Right.
that's your piece of accountability.
Right,
My accountability was the kids.
right, yeah,
I
right.
had to be accountable to them. And when we have accountability, which isn't a negative thing, but people understand it as a negative thing. But when we have that place of accountability, we'll show up.
But so here's the question. So I'm a good example right now of it, because you look at how I've framed this, my accountability, from not even people within my direct inner circle.
Mm-hmm.
So the question then comes back to, how does somebody find accountability if they don't have anybody to hold them accountable?
That's discipline and holding yourself accountable.
Right.
Like my accountability was my kids, but it was also to my standard of how I was going to parent.
Right.
Right. So my accountability, yes, they're there. They're my physical accountability. I'm looking at them.
Right.
But my accountability was that I have a standard of parenting, and that was if I'm going to raise good people, this is the standard. I'm to meet that standard.
Yeah, I think that what you just said too is an important thing. A word that you said, standard. And I think that human beings got to look at what standard they hold themselves to. And if you hold yourself to a higher standard, you start working towards that goal of that higher standard. And I do that a lot. Just like when I live streamed the other day, and then we walked away, and I'm like, just delete it. And everyone was like, we're going to delete it. I'm like, yeah, I sucked. and like the people with me were like, you're going to redo the whole thing? And I'm like, yeah.
That's the standard.
And that was just holding myself to a higher standard. I knew I could be better. I knew that I wasn't that good on camera that day. My energy wasn't there. It wasn't about perfection. I just knew it was way below my standard.
It's about excellence.
Yeah, it was way below it. And so I think that we all, if everybody tries to hold themselves to a better standard, you get better things in life. A higher standard as a parent, a higher standard with a spouse, a higher standard fitness, a higher standard whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And when you do that, you do work harder to try and learn, or do the stuff that you need to step up and be like, okay, I'm going to sit down and learn in this area a little more, because I don't have the knowledge in this area.
And we can learn in every area because we never get to the place where we know it all.
Well, no, if you think about, as you would know as a counselor, 95% of us, of what we do is run by our subconscious mind, and 85% of what we do is the same thing from the day before. That means we're not learning anything new if we don't understand that stat. Right? No matter what anybody thinks, it's impossible to do anything in your life if you don't understand that change.
Yeah.
So, so with you then, you how did you, I got a question for you. I'm going to go back. If someone feels, I wrote a question down here. I didn't want to forget. If someone feels they're, yeah, I know. I write my question. There's an interesting topic too, because I write my questions down in my book. Obviously, I use my books a lot. Everyone sees them on my streams all the time of how much I write, my tasks, my notes, my affirmations, everything, right? And then I always date everything, and then I can go look back a year from now and see exactly what I've done. And then at the end of the day, I write, like, did I get this done? I can track myself all the time.
Yeah.
If someone feels they're at rock bottom, what would you tell them?
Connect.
Connect with people?
Because people see the good enough when we can't see it. We're our own worst enemy. We're our own worst critic. And when we don't see, when we think we're at the bottom of our barrel and can't see anything positive in ourselves or in our circumstance, someone can. And someone will call that out and tell us what that is if we ask them to, and if we give them permission to.
Right.
I had a friend do that to me. And it was,
And it was
it was in this
it was in
process
this
of
process
growth
of growth
after the
after the
second homelessness. So when we
homelessness,
were where we are now.
Right.
I was just
I was
in
just
not a good,
in not
like
a good,
just a
like
negative
just a negative
mental space.
mental space.
Right.
And she's like,
And
I
she's like,
want
I
you
want you
to write a
to write a
gratitude list.
gratitude
I'm like,
list. I'm like,
not happening.
not happening.
Not doing that.
Not doing that.
That's got no
That's
value
got
whatsoever,
no value
and I'm
whatsoever,
not
and
going to do
I'm
it.
not
And
gonna
she's
do
like,
it.
Christy,
She's like,
you're a counselor.
You're a counselor.
You know this works.
You know
I'm
this
like,
works. I'm like,
it doesn't work,
it
and
doesn't
I'm not
work,
going to
and
do
I'm
it.
not going to do it.
So we went back
So
and
we
forth,
went back and forth,
and she
and she
hounded me
hounded me every day
for
for
months.
months.
Where's the list?
Where's the list? Where's the list?
I'm like,
Where's
I'm
the
not
list?
doing it.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Finally,
Finally,
I said,
I
okay,
said, okay,
I will do this.
I will do
to
this
shut
to
you
shut
up.
you up.
That is the only reason.
Only reason.
It's not going to work.
It's not gonna
and
work.
I'll show you.
And I'll show
I'm
you.
doing
And
it
I'm
to shut you
doing
up
it
because
to
I
shut you
got
up,
to
'cause
get
I
you off
gotta
my
get you
back.
off my back.
So I had to send the list
send
to
the
her
list
too
to
every
her
day.
too every
So I
day.
had to
Right.
text
So I had
it
to
and
text
send
it
it.
and send it.
Great.
And so
And
the
so
first, my first
my
list
first
was
list
horrible. They were bad.
They were
like
bad.
What did your
I-
first list say? Did your first list say one sentence? I'm not grateful for anything. I'm not grateful to be doing this.
No, I had to
No,
find
I
things
had
I was
to find
grateful
things I
for.
was
There's like the
grateful for. There's, like,
stupidest
the
things
stupidest
that you
things
could
that you
think
could
of.
think of.
Just to
Right.
Just to
fill the list
fill
and
the
shut
list
it
and
up,
shut it up.
right?
Right?
And then I sent
And
it,
then
and
I
she's
sent
like,
it, and she's like,
okay.
okay.
Tomorrow. so we went back and forth and did this. But pretty soon my list became like, I'm thankful because there's grass. like, I
Yeah.
actually had to try and find the stupidest things. But pretty soon they went things like that to, I'm having a really crappy day, and my 2-year-old came and gave me a hug because he could say, see, I was sad. And
Right.
I'm very grateful for that.
Right.
So it took time, but it did take on meaning. And when I started to do that, I noticed I started to see more positive things.
Mm-hmm.
So when I put my attention on the positive, I saw more positive. When I put my attention on the negative, I saw more negative.
100%.
Then I had to go get with my humble pie and say, fine, you were right.
Well, and you know my system. I mean, I'm really simple in a way. All I try and do every day is stack as many positives that I can, and that starts in the morning when I do my meditations. That starts with my affirmation, and even when I go to bed at night, every night before I go to bed, I write.
Writing it down.
I write 5 to 10 things that I've done well that day. Think about that. Think about that. If everybody at the end, because our self-talk is so negative about ourselves. Think about kids. If kids did this, their lives change. Their lives change dramatically. Even adults, because you get home, instead of criticizing, you're like, I went to the gym today. Great job. You're actually finding the positive in yourself, which most people don't do because you know the brain and I know the brain. We automatically pull the negative. We don't pull the positive. And so just writing that down every night before I go to bed does wonders. Yeah, it just does wonders. I just started to realize, for me, I can just teach people how to keep stacking the positives throughout the day, like in many different ways, and I can see the results that they can get. Huge.
Yeah.
Just like, my affirmations. Every time I walk through a door, I say a positive affirmation. And you've even told your clients about that.
I have.
Right? Yeah, like it's such a good exercise because some days I'll go through like, I'll tell you a funny story though quickly. There's one day where I was like getting negative thoughts and I was in the mall and I kept walking in and out of the door, just saying it like this, back and forth, the affirmation, right?
But the beautiful thing about that, and it's why I tell the clients that, is because it's a physical cue
Right.
to do something. And a lot of times we need to pair a physical cue to the change in that, like self-talk. It's why we, back in the day, we said, like, snap the elastic when you say something bad, right? But it's attaching a physical cue to a change in thinking or behavior, and that's how it becomes sticky, and how it will just be incorporated into what we do and how we live.
Right.
That's the
Yeah,
beauty
I
of
mean-
why I tell him, because it's like he doesn't think of how many doorways you go through in a day. Like it's that
true.
it's that physical cue that is um, well, amazing, wrong word, but like
Transformational.
thank you, yes.
But
Yeah.
it is one of those things that will cause the change. So simple, but so impactful.
100%. Well, and too, because every time you do it too, it's really creating new neural connections for you too. So,
Yeah.
I mean, when you do that, you're just pruning away the old bad ones that are just stuck, really. And so that's, you know, in the end, it's just, my life always just gets better because my brain gets better. That's really what it is. You know, I just get happier, more positive. You know, my belief is you're pretty much untouchable, right? And that's what I always want people to get to, because I know it's a good life when you get to that. Because none of the outside stuff can really do anything to you then. Like
Right.
nobody
Yeah.
can really piss
No,
you off.
no.
Nobody can say anything. Like nothing can really make me like, do you know what I
Nothing
mean?
can
Like
rattle you.
it doesn't, yeah, it doesn't really rattle me. Whatever, you know. Like I'd rather go walk through doors and say kind things to myself than fight with some person, right? You know.
Excuse me, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna walk through the door.
Yeah, totally, right? Yeah, that's a good. That's the funny. That's a good pattern interrupt. By the way, you want to fight me? Just a sec. Let me go walk through a door first. Great pattern interrupt. Person will be like, "What the heck? I'm not gonna fight this guy. He's weird." Hey, why don't you just come walk through doors with me? Here's how I do my affirmations instead of fight.
I can show you a better way.
Right? Yeah, totally. There's always a better way. There's always a better way, right? So, yeah, you know, I think too, for me, you know, being able to overcome so much that I have, you know, like, you know, partying and drugs and, you know, all that type of stuff. And don't get me wrong. I mean, my life was not like, I always say, people always think of, you know, drug addicts, drugs, but, you know, I was hanging around with doctors, lawyers, police officers, you know, like every crowd was, and the problem, those crowds were worse because everyone had money.
Yes.
So they were worse for me to hang around with when all that stuff, because it was just so much money everybody had. So you're not, you know what I mean? So like, yeah, that's when I kind of learned that. That was my first lesson of learning, like, oh geez, like even the white collar crowd that you think is good is not good for me. Yeah, I got to be a better choice of people here. Just because someone has money and has a good career doesn't
Makes it a
make
little
them,
more
that
accessible.
doesn't mean they have good behaviors.
Yeah, this is true.
So I learned that one. So if you could, what does being human mean to you?
That's a big question, Jay. I don't think you can distill it down to one simple thing. But if you know, we've heard it so much with COVID about being kind. And there's value to it too, but we have to be very intentional about not just having it be a slogan, but actually living kindness. So don't just be kind, live kind.
It's true. It's true. I mean, that's the problem that I have with society, and that's why I'm leading what I'm going to lead, and this is why we will build this into one of the biggest global movements that I do, because I've got to go out and just keep acting so other people will be inspired to act.
You don't want to. Like, we don't all necessarily want to show up and be kind today.
Yeah.
But it is one of the transformative things.
Right. 100% it is. Right. And it's beneficial for you too, because it raises good emotions, raises good serotonin in you, dopamine in you. It creates positive thoughts in you. It creates heart-brain coherence is actually stronger than brain coherence. That's what people understand, though.
Absolutely.
The heart has its own unconscious mind and stronger than the brain, really, once you understand how to tap into it. So that alone right there. So you're like, it's almost a selfish thing if you get good at it, being kind, compassionate and stuff, because it does really good for you. You know, like if you learn how the brain works, it does really good for you. And then it just does good for the world. But it's trying to inspire people to act more, which will be one of my biggest undertakings. And you're right. It's very easy to say stuff, and it's very easy when a trend starts to jump on the trend. Oh, ice bucket trend, or this next trend, and then everybody does it for 6 months, and then you forget about the people suffering. That's the problem. And I always say when something really bad happens in somebody's family, that's when they step up to try and help that say cancer or some other
Yeah.
fight. But then they haven't fought any other fight, a lot of people before that, until something happens. So we should trying to be helping. And I always say this: when your life is good, that's when you should be helping the most because you have the energy.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
probably time and resources and all
That's
of
right.
those things.
That's
But
that's
the
right.
true measure of a person who can be kind when their life isn't going well.
going well.
100%, yeah, 100%, yeah. And I mean, it's when you there. I think there's a different level of kindness too. Meaning this, well, everyone can be kind, but it's harder to be kind. Well, not to be kind, not to be kind and nice, but it's harder, I guess, maybe to be happy and positive. I guess what I'm trying to say is when your just basic necessities are not being met. So when
Well,
you're
I was there.
when you don't have a house or food, it's very hard to get yourself like the last thing you're doing is thinking about somebody else. You're just trying to figure out how to eat at that point.
But and I've been there, as you know. Um, but there's always someone that has less.
100%.
And if I was lavished upon after the house fire and we lost everything, then I almost have a
Keep going.
debt back to humanity to give what I received.
Right.
Like I was in you're watching your house burn down. Like I don't have my children's baby photos. I don't have their baby photos. I don't have the first stupid hand turkey they made. I don't have those things anymore. But I still need to make sure that and not having had them, I can always remember that. And always remember that in my worst, someone showed up for me. And to even pay back those people that I will never know who helped me, I need to live that forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, deep. It's deep. So how do we spread more kindness throughout the world?
One person at a time. I know that's sort of silly to say, but it is one of those things. When you consistently show up in a way that's kind, you create safety for people. And then their better self can rise.
And when you say show up, are you saying like show up in just a kind way for people?
Yeah, like what do they, strangers, people in your world, in your circle, even just a nice comment to someone like at the grocery store, to the cashier who probably hates her job,
Mm-hmm.
just to say, hey, thanks for helping today.
Well, and too why that actually spreads more kindness too is because you're consciously thinking of it. And so when you as a human being start to consciously think, like the other day I was walking through one of the cleaners in one of the condos, and I stopped and I said, hey, I just want to tell you that I really appreciate you taking care of all these condos, and thanks so much for doing your work. And I had $5 on me. I gave him $5. I didn't have any more money on me. I was surprised I didn't have cash on me nowadays.
Yeah,
right?
these days,
Yeah,
no one
right.
has cash.
But I gave him $5, and he was like, "Oh, thank you." No, he's like, "No." I'm like, "No, just take it. Get yourself a coffee or something." I mean, hey, it's not going to go very long nowadays. $5 in Vancouver is like what a candy, right? But I'm like, hey. But it's just little stuff like that, And honestly, I would, take me back 10 years ago, I wouldn't have thought like that. Like I was kind, but I wouldn't have walked by somebody cleaning a condo and thought thanking him for his work. And so that's how I see I've evolved mentally, right? So evolved.
But how many times when some stranger comes up and plays you a compliment, doesn't it stand out?
No one's ever done that to me. I'm just
I doubt
kidding.
that.
I'm just kidding.
But
I need
you
a good
remember
clip.
those things.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. Oh, well, here, let me give you a good example. There's been so many kind people on this stream. So like, like some of our short form content is on like 2.9 million, 2 million. Like I looked at the comments last night and we had 6,500 comments in the last 28 days. And I spent 2 hours a night trying to reply back to everybody.
Yeah.
But it's impossible to reply when you start to scale like that. But I tried. A lot of people that started to come in saying like, "Oh, I seen you replying back to people. I really appreciate that." But the amount of people that have come and started to give me good comments and been like, "Hey, bro, I'm behind you. I love your mission. Like, I'm supporting you the whole way." Right? You're so caring and like you're kind. I can tell. Just the amount of people that have come in and given me like supportive comments has been deep, very deep. So I said like out of 6,500 comments, there's really only been like 2% of really bad, which is really strong. You know, really strong, right? And so the other, that 2% is just your typical, trying to like start a fight with you or something
of course.
crazy, right? But they're kind of
Like the
interesting.
people that said I deserve my house to burn down.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of find those interesting, actually. I kind of like when I scroll through the comments now sometimes and I see the one that's like really attacking me. I kind of find it interesting because it's more about me
It's like,
figuring.
what's going on in your
Yeah,
life?
it's more about me
So
looking at human
hurting.
behavior. Like I actually click on their thing just to look at them to see what type of life they have, right? Because it is interesting how a human being, a person does that. But a lot of times, the people that do that, you can't find very much track record on them.
No.
So they have everything private, and you know what I mean, right? Because they don't,
Because they don't want to be outed.
yeah, they don't want to be outed, right? But I've had such a good positive experience, and so I think it gives for me, a lot of hope in humanity. And because you always hear about the battle online, and a lot of my friends that are like, pretty big and somewhat famous online and stuff, sometimes you're like, oh, like, sometimes people attack me and they don't like me and stuff, but I'm like, but look at all the people that like love you, like look at all the people that support you and stuff like that. So I always just think that the problem sometimes is the negativity. Here's even with our stuff, is that positive people don't get loud all the time.
They don't need to.
Well, they should. They need to.
Yeah.
They need to get
Well,
loud. And you know why they need to get loud? Is because the negative people are very loud. So they'll come attack me. They'll like share negative things. They'll not like the positive people got to get loud and be like, hey, like, and no, I'm not just saying this is me, but if you like somebody, like their stuff, comment, share, like support them, like get loud, be like, hey, we support you. Yeah, like where the negative people are very loud, like they'll express their opinion like that. Where the positive people won't come out and be like, hey, this guy's doing a good job. You know what I mean? So they're very quiet. We need more, like we do need
but
more.
it
Like
shows up what they don't.
negativity is way louder than positivity online.
Yeah. Oh, of course, it's easy though.
And there's way more positive people online. That's what I'm saying. There's way more positive people. It's just we sit back too much.
Apathy.
Yeah, and I want to change that. Like I want to get the positive people to get a little bit more louder. Like don't be scared to leave a comment on someone's stuff when they're doing good.
Yeah.
Right? Because the negative people
and you do a lot of work on your brain and your mood and your pardon me, your thinking. But at the same time, you're still gonna have bad days. And maybe that one person's positive comment helps you shift your mental space.
100% it will, because you know why? There's so many people that have come into my stuff in the last 28 days, and they've been going through all kinds of struggles, and when I leave a positive comment back, and I put out and then like a positive video, and then they leave something they're going through, and then I write back to them in a positive way, you should see the comments that come back. Like, to tell you the truth, sometimes I was like, oh, when I leave a comment back, I was like, oh, nobody's going to care. Like, even if someone's struggling, truthfully, because to me, it's so minor that I'm like, I want to help them more. But then I leave a positive comment and someone's like, yeah, I'm struggling with cancer. Then they've seen one of my positive videos and they're like, oh, your video inspired me. Then they leave a comment. Then I leave a nice comment back and we talk a little bit. And they're like, man, that really helped me. Thanks for communicating back with me. So like stuff like that, like that's actually inspired me more because I seen like, wow, like that's really helping people. And sometimes I just like think, oh, what would my comment back like help somebody? But now I understand the communication does, the connection, I guess.
So you asked me what
what
it means for like to me to be human, and as we've been talking, some more things pop. It's one thing I do say a lot. Make an effort to see and hear other people. Like really see them, really hear them. We all want to be seen and heard and understood. And if we actually step outside of ourselves and made a concerted effort to see and hear other people, that's being human.
Well, and that's probably humanity's or people in general's number one need is those three things.
Yeah. It is.
And that
We all
makes
want
them
that.
feel
That's why I have a practice.
Right.
People come see me because they don't see seen and heard. It's a
And
base. Sorry, go ahead.
there's so much now too that people don't feel seen and heard, like online now, social media and especially AI coming now so strong that people are really now even starting to feel way less seen and heard, and it's just going to get worse and worse.
But
Right,
it's
it's
something
like-
we all need. It's a basic need in all of us. And if you take that with you,
Yeah, go ahead. No, keep going. Go ahead.
if you take that with you, that lends itself into things like compassion and kindness and all of those other
Yeah.
things we've been talking about.
Yeah. Did you know that the men right now, or boys and men, I guess you would call them, from 16 years old to 24 years old, have actually 85% of them have actually never asked a girl out physically.
Really?
Ever.
Wow.
Ever. So as I started to find out these studies and look at that, I was like, oh, that's a big market that I've got to get into to really make a difference in the world, is those young men, because they're not understanding human connection at all.
Well, I don't
And
know
they're
that
kind of-
any
they're
of
kind
us
of-
understand it really.
Well,
Like-
and they're kind of left. I mean, they're big. Like, I mean, you look at Crazy Andrew Tate that came on and went massive fame. Well, that's how Andrew Tate became famous. He literally got men from 16 to 24, made them famous. And he literally spread his message. Like, it was very, I mean, I don't want to go, I don't like to talk like bad about people, but
Yeah.
his message is not good for young men. You can still be confident, and you can still be motivated, but you can also still be compassionate at the same time,
Yeah.
right? And so that's the new message.
Doesn't have to be cutthroat.
No, and that's the new message that has to be spread more. And I think we're moving to the era now where more people like me too will step up and really push that message, and I will have a lot of people help me push the message. But I think now we're in the era where there's people that understand that that's the necessity now. Like, we need to do that. It's not like a maybe. Like, we have
No.
to do it.
Yeah, we do. We have to change how we show up.
Yeah. It's different times. And again, it's going to get worse because of AI coming along now.
Yeah.
And if you
Worse
look
before
at
it gets better.
Well, if you look at the younger generation, like I just said with that stat of the men not connecting with women ever at that age group, they're just relying on online. And if you look at the machine, if you look at the dominating companies now that are running AI, and they're really training the next generation to rely on talking with AI and feeling emotion and getting companionship with AI. So they're really banking on bringing all that next generation into that, which is we have to change. So there's going to have to be leaders like myself and a lot of other people that are going to have to really step up. And that's why I think for me, even, I need to go after that younger generation real hard, from that like 16 to 23, 24, because I got the wisdom now, at my age, that I can lead them in a big way.
Yeah.
And me not doing drugs, went and through going drugs and not drinking, stopping drinking. I'll never touch a drop of alcohol again in my life, ever will I touch that stuff again. So, and you know me, once I make a decision, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
It's done. You know what I mean? It's done. So, and now it's out to the world too, so now I'm not going to be able to go back on that. Right.
There's your accountability.
Yeah, that's right. Put it online, it can't go back. That's the problem with online. Once you say it, it's out there for good.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do now.
No, because 10 years from now, someone will be in a restaurant and be watching you. Are you saying, hey, put that glass down? I heard you 10 years ago.
It'll be the perfect AI version of me.
Yes.
And the headline will be like, this guy preaches this and then he does the opposite.
Yeah. He doesn't talk. He doesn't walk the walk.
All right, well, this has been an amazing conversation. I mean, thanks so much. Your wealth of information, you inspire people, you motivate people, you know, everything that you've went through to be able to come out on the other side and to be able to now go into some of the largest companies in the world and do critical incidents for them.
Well, that's what you do when you grow, right? Like, I mean, it's been a growth journey for me. I get my help when I need it. I go into counseling when I need it to work through my things. And then, much like I said about paying back and giving and paying forward what I was given after the house fire, it's the same thing with all my experiences. I've come through them and I'm out the other side.
Right.
And I hated not having someone to walk with me through them.
Right.
So I now have a responsibility to push that and move that forward for other people who need it.
Right.
Those are some of the standards I hold myself to.
Right. Well, and I think it's people's duty as a human being when you're able to overcome stuff and you are able to come out the other side. I think it's your duty to now help people that are struggling. And if you want to go back to whatever you believe in, the universe, God, or whatever you believe in, they all say that they all got the same message. That's the same kind of message in everything, right? Like, go back, help your fellow human being.
But for me, it also, because I've lived obviously a lot, it was a way to redeem my suffering. Because my suffering seemed so senseless.
Right.
And I couldn't make heads nor tails of it.
Right.
But this was a way that I could redeem it. And it could finally make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me too, like I said, I'm working to start one night where it's just live human global connection. And it's going to take me a little while to keep getting that going, and a few people are showing up, but that's one of my keys, is just to have a place where we can get on live and people from all over the world, we can get on and just connect with each other. What city you from? How you doing? And I think that's actually going to be really big for me eventually as things pick up for me and as this grows and gets bigger. Because I already see, like, I've connected with people from India, from Pakistan, from Philippines, from Portland, from LA. There's so many people that have come to my stuff that I've built friendships and relationships where that I wouldn't have known if I wasn't live streaming, that I can talk to back and forth. And I can see me just having one night where people can come and they can show up and we can all just hang. And I think that's where a lot of the younger, I can get a lot of those younger guys.
They know how to
do
this stuff.
No, and that's where I think they can that I think because they are lonely too. That's the problem too. That brings in loneliness for a lot of them. So I think if we can have a group where we can just all kind of connect and share and, not teach, but just be human and just get to know each other.
Seek to understand.
Yeah. So I'm going to keep pushing that night big. Again, it's going to take me a while to get that one really going because it takes a while to pick up. But I actually believe that out of all the things I'm doing in the end, that's going to be one of the biggest nights in the end, where you'll see 500,000 people.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Hanging out and stuff like that, 100%. And I think it's just needed.
Yeah. People need each other.
Yeah. And that'll move us into when I start doing events too. And then we can meet in person. Awesome. Well, thank you for everybody watching tonight. There was a lot of different viewers on at different times tonight. And a lot of you viewers have stayed on different platforms tonight. We were on Twitter, we were on Facebook, we were on YouTube Live, and different places. And so there was a lot of you that stayed on and watched the whole interview or conversation, I should call it. It was an interview. I don't like that word. It doesn't sound human.
No, it doesn't. Sounds like a job.
Yeah, it does, right? I don't like that word.
I'm not a job, Shane. Thanks.
I'm always trying to change my language pattern. Yeah, I'm always trying to change my language patterns, like too, just making sure I work to keep it more human. all the time. That's why I don't like when people, I'm like, oh, don't forget to subscribe and like and share my YouTube. And it helps me a lot. But I hate saying the word subscribers because it sounds so not human. But then no one knows what I'm talking about because it's just
You
true.
don't.
Like when
You don't.
because people forget, like they actually want to subscribe and like your stuff and share it and they want to help you. They just do.
Yeah.
But a lot of times they just forget. Like they're sitting there and they're like, oh, I didn't even think about it. You should have said something, right?
Yeah, and I hate the word.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to like maybe I'll start my own social platform and it'll be just all human and it will be like no subscribers, no followers. Like it'll be the most human platform.
Just joiners.
Joiners.
Joiners. Joiner, I don't know, that sounds weird.
Yeah, it does.
Joiners. But I mean, yeah, we could just put a human, if I could put a human tab, humans
Oh, I'm
instead
sure
of
we can
subscribers.
find a word.
Yeah, well, I mean humans, but it's just like, I understand I understand the word subscribe, but again, it just doesn't seem human, right? When you say,
It doesn't
hey,
seem relational.
yeah, it says, hey, become a subscriber, which helps all of us because we can stay connected, but it's just, again, yeah, it doesn't seem human. But
It's clinical.
Clinical.
it is. It's clinical. It's social media, right? It's marketerish. It's,
Yes.
it's kind of like you got subscriber, you got followers, you got fans, like all that. Even fans sounds like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It sounds like a hierarchy. Like if you
Yeah,
follow
it
me,
does.
and you're my fan, that puts me up here, and that
Yeah.
puts a person down here.
Not
That's not
equal.
human. Yeah. Yeah, and I've always said too, as I keep growing and stuff, and I do, obviously, I do teach and do stuff, but, as I've gained more followers, and I've had a decent follower base and the thing, I'm really working hard to not have that separation of me being the expert and
Yeah.
then people being down here. And so I'm working really hard as this grows to make sure I build that into my culture. So as it keeps growing and people keep growing, they never feel that there's a disconnect with me and that, because there's so many people that they get that disconnect, right? Like I know a lot of people follow like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like even people that name themselves a guru, that puts a hierarchy between.
Oh,
you,
of
right?
course it does.
Of course it does.
Of course it does.
But, all right. So what's one tip you can leave them with, and then we'll go.
Show up and see and hear others.
This is the most important tip they're ever going to hear in their life. Don't get it wrong.
I didn't.
I'm kidding, by the way.
No, but seriously, seek to hear and see and understand others.
See, what do you say? See, hear, feel, and understand?
Seek
Oh, seek.
to see, hear, and understand one another.
Seek to see, hear, and understand one another. I like it. Probably one of the most important things that you can do in life, and one of the most things that human beings want the most in life.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for tuning into our second episode. I will be running 2 interviews a week with people from all over the world. I stream daily, my friends. I stream different times. I haven't got a pattern on yet of exactly when I'm going to stream. Yeah, but I'll figure it out. I've only been 30 days now.
You're falling behind the game. Come on, you should be on
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Yeah. I only got 50 more years of this left, so I'm sure I have a little bit of time to figure it out. Yeah. So another second episode of real human conversations. Make sure that you look for us next week. We'll have 2 more guests on, and I'll be streaming. Tomorrow we're going to be doing kindness tomorrow. I'm going to be streaming in the morning tomorrow. We'll be doing some kind of compassionate acts in Vancouver in the morning. And Sunday I will be streaming at night. And I'm just going to be hanging out Sunday and doing a follow-up of the week because it's my 30th day celebration where I will may have 30 days straight in a row. That's right. And then next week I got a bunch of guests coming on. Traveling too. So I'll show you guys through the Vancouver airport, which is ranked the #1 nicest airport in all North America. So I'll take you through the airport in Vancouver, and you guys can tell me if it's actually that nice or not. All right, guys, till next time, go out, do something kind for the world. Thanks, Christy.
You're welcome, Shane. Thank you.